This council wants to thank all of you for your patience, for your commitment, for standing up for something that you believe in. It's a democratic process. Being heard is an essential part of that process, and I hope you feel like you've been heard tonight. We appreciate your presence. That is very, very important to us. This council, the city, and Fort Worth Police Department share your commitment to finding out just exactly what happened during that bar check at the Rainbow Lounge. Chief Halstead is committed to a thorough, inclusive investigation, and input from witnesses and citizens are a part of achieving that. And if you have something that you haven't shared with Chief Halstead and his investigators, you certainly have that opportunity to make a little bit later tonight, but you can certainly make an appointment after you get a little bit of shot, a little bit more than we're going to get. And I would encourage you to do that. As was indicated earlier, as I listened and watched, and in addition to from this dais, you can watch the speaker, but you can also watch this council. And they were paying attention to what you said. I didn't see anybody up here on BlackBerry doing the BlackBerry prayer that I asked you not to do. They were listening. And this staff was listening. This chief was listening. All these officers were listening. This did not fall on deaf ears. This was a message you came to deliver. Consider that mail delivered. But as I listened to what Mr. Scarce said a moment ago, he said that what happened on June 28th at the Rainbow Lounge was an exception. That wasn't the standard operational procedure in Fort Worth, and every single one of y'all here knows that. Something happened. Something happened that shouldn't have. Someone got hurt that shouldn't have. And until we complete this investigation with this department, we're not going to know what happened. TABC is probably going to complete their investigation soon because they only had 2 people involved. And because there hasn't been just a whole slew of folks heading to Austin to talk to TABC about what took place in the bar that night. And I submit that that wasn't standard operational procedure for TABC either, because I worked with that agency for a number of years as your county judge. And I never saw anything like that, never heard anything like that, never saw any case that was presented along those lines. I never heard any kind of complaints about joint operations with Fort Worth and TABC. This is the first time this has ever raised its head, to my knowledge, in this city. Now, it just so happened that it took place as soon as we got a new police chief. And there have been comments about his response, what he said, and I'm not going to sit here and try and defend what he said. But I'm going to tell you that I believe in this man. I believe in the 20-some odd years of experience he had with Phoenix. There's a reason that the city manager thought this was a man for the job and why this council supported that choice. And there's a reason that he has been so resoundingly received in this city, because people are pretty comfortable with him. He's already fairly comfortable in his boots. He's not someone that walks in and tries to intimidate anybody. He's all business. He's all business, your business. And I want to see this report as bad as anyone on this dais. And from a personal standpoint, I have a great relationship with this community. Oh, yeah. And I always have. and so is my wife, Rosie. And we are very comfortable in your presence. We have laughed with you, and we have cried with you as we've lost mutual friends. And that's not going to change. That's not going to change. What you didn't see take place tonight, you didn't see this crowd taken over by a handful of people who came here to destroy our city. That's what you did not see. You can thank yourself for that, because you knew damn good and well that wasn't the Fort Worth way. That wasn't the way to deliver the message that y'all delivered tonight. And it's not going to be. It's not going to be. And I hope you're as comfortable with those house rules as we are, because they're for your benefit. They're for the benefit of this whole community. And it stops personal attacks, which don't get us anywhere. I support the diversity training. I appreciate, Esther, your presence and the suggestion that sensitivity training needs to take place, not just with our officers, but you know, we have folks that work for this city that would benefit from that training as well. I think the council's already gotten a pretty good dose of that training, and perhaps if every officer were here tonight, they would have gotten the same dose. But I'm going to also tell you that I appreciate your ongoing continued support for this police department, because there is not a finer police department in this country.
That's right. That's right.
They have a tough job to do.
Oh, yeah.
And they lay their life on the line every day to go out and do that job to protect us. And while these are difficult waters to navigate, I think the overarching look by the U.S. Attorney, who Jonathan does have subpoena power, last time I checked.
President Obama too.
He can call whatever he feels is appropriate as the next step. I think that was the right direction to go. I will offer the same response that Carter offered earlier. You haven't heard a great deal from me. You haven't seen me overreact.
No.
You have not seen me panic. You have not seen me trying frantically to do anything until I had as much information as I could possibly gather. And when I did, that's when I asked the acting U.S. Attorney to take this extra step. And he, thankfully, agreed to do so. I think that says a lot for him. It's not an easy thing to do, and I think that exhibits a little bit of courage on Mr. Jack's part, and I hope you all express our appreciation to him. Finally, earlier today, it was announced to the council that Officer Sarah Stratton, a 17-year veteran of the Fort Worth Police Department, has stepped forward and on her own volunteered to act as an interim liaison with the GLBT community. Officer Stratton is very involved with the gay community as well as its organization, knows them well, and is going to be a valuable asset. So the healing is already beginning. That's one step. That's one step in hopefully what is not a long walk. And to those comments earlier about we're going to continue our demonstrations, certainly you're free to do whatever you choose is appropriate, you feel is going to be meaningful to help us get to where we're going.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that helps in the healing process. I think if you will wait with us to get some results, if you don't feel like those results are what need to be done, or recommendations of what need to be done, or if you don't feel like the U.S. Attorney is taking the right steps, fine, then crank it up again. Certainly you know how. It's not your first rodeo. And it won't be your last if something isn't done to address this. But folks, let me tell you, Fort Worth is going to get through this.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
We're going to come back stronger, and that fabric is going to be stronger than it already is.
Oh, yeah.
This is an inclusive community, and I don't ever want to hear you talking about going to Philadelphia for any reason. Go look at the Bell, that's fine, but don't leave us. This community does care about everyone who lives here, their quality of life. I apologize for whatever that email was generated by. It was hurtful. That is not helpful in the process that we're trying to address. And for those of you who did email me and I didn't answer, I apologize for that too. But I wanted to have facts before I did anything. And if that wasn't acting as soon as someone would liked, then I did what I thought was right, and I did it for the right reason. And I think this council supports that action. We're going to do so by resolution at our next meeting. But again, thank you all for being here. We're going to break about 5 minutes, and we're going to get back to our agenda. But again, thank you. I'm sorry you're going to get a little bit of sleep, but like I said, we'll still be here.